I started.
Hello and welcome back to the Pacific Perspectives podcast. I'm Nux Memes. That's Kaylor Mimamoto. Rory's also here because he's here sometimes. You're waving to no one. People listen to this; they don't really watch. Um, we're recording this after the first two men's Olympic hockey games happened earlier today. First of all, Slovakia pulling off the upset over Finland, and then later Italy surprising everyone by keeping it close with Sweden, only losing 5-2, with one of those being an empty netter. Who has thoughts on either of those games?
I have lots of thoughts, but Rory, I
I
can
have a
tell that you
ton
want
of
to
thoughts
go.
actually. I love talking about Olympic Yuri Slavkovsky. I think
Of course
it's
you do.
well, yeah, but I mean, going into this game, there were the jokes about Olympic Slavkovsky is going to come back. The only player in this Olympics that has an Olympic MVP in the past, and he scored 7 goals in 7 games as a teenager, and he was the best player on the ice against Finland. It was pretty clear every time he was on the ice, it was his line with Tatar and Adam Ruzicka of all people that was just dominant. He Slavkovsky was doing all the things that he's been doing in Montreal ever since he got put in a line with Ivan Demidov and Oliver Kapanen the past couple of months. He's winning battles along the boards. He's actually taking the puck and driving play through the neutral zone. Exiting the zone with possession, entering the zone also with possession. Making plays. Finding Tatar, and he was able to do a little bit more in the offensive zone maybe with the puck than he'd be used to in Montreal because he's not deferring to Demidov quite as much. He's trying to drive it himself. I think we saw a great turnover on a horrible Mikko Lehtinen giveaway that led to a nice move on UC Stars for the 1-0 goal. He had a bullet of a shot on the power play for the 3-1 goal, which kind of really sealed the game for them. And then he got an assist on the empty netter where he probably would have scored if Sebastian Aho didn't take his stick out of his hands by falling on it. But it was just an all around great performance from him and that line. Also shout out to Samuel Halava who made 38 stops. He was huge. Game doesn't get where it is without him. Xavier just showed the Simon Nemitz jersey on screen. He played big minutes, and it was probably the best game I've seen Nemitz play in a while, including
Yeah,
some of his NHL games. Like he's so good when
Why
he's
did your
able to
echo
activate.
just like triple? Do you hear that,
I don't know.
JC? Your echo like you suddenly backed into a cave. That's what it sounds like.
I didn't hear it.
Maybe that's just me, but I'll chime in.
Anyway,
Yeah, you mentioned Nemitz and Slavkovsky. This is their first real time. Besides, I'd say for Nemitz, when all the New Jersey defensemen were out, he was like the clear number one, and he had like a hat trick, like with the overtime. That was really the only time that between those guys, they were the number one, like best player. Not necessarily the best player, but the guy on their roster. And when they're on a small hockey nation like Slovakia, this is the only time, possibly in their entire career, maybe not for Slavkovsky because I think there's a chance that he becomes a guy in Montreal. But besides that, this is his first time in his career where he's really been the guy. And some guys just excel at that, and that's what you love to see. That's what you love to see. You know that they have more to give in their NHL career. If clearly that when they're relied on to be the guy, they can do it. And for Slavkovsky, such a good, like large, dynamic guy. He just plays so funny to me. Like he's so
yeah,
good, but he just is so funny.
he's just big. Like it's not very. The reason Montreal picked him was the fact that he was big and could move, and he could do everything with a skill package in being that size. And he's not a traditional like physical big man. Like there's a lot of comparisons to Miko Rantanen. And funny enough, there's on the flip side, Miko Rantanen was the eighth most used Finnish
Yeah,
forward.
what
He
is that
wasn't in
about?
the game a ton. I thought he had some moments on the power play and at the end of the game where he looked dangerous cutting in and shooting, but otherwise, like he was pretty uninvolved. It was the complete opposite in Slavkovsky, and they're not the exact same player, but they play similar games in
They do, yeah.
terms in terms of the big skill dynamic and working on just timing and you know kind of controlling the puck more than you would think for a guy of their size. But Slavkovsky was clearly in the game, wanting to take it by the scruff of the neck and win it, and Rantanen, partially in terms of the way he was deployed and partially just the way he was playing, it didn't seem like he had the same kind of get up to it. It's not like he was waiting for the game to come to him rather than trying to take the game. by itself. I was impressed by the way that Slovakia defended on the front foot as well. They were stepping up to break up plays in the neutral zone. They weren't just letting Finland come at them in waves. They talked about it in the broadcast a ton, but Craig Ramsey's influence in the Slovak program and making it do that, I
Hmm.
was quite impressed by that. And I don't know, we can get into the Italy Sweden game as well because that
Yeah.
one was
I mean, yeah,
quite a
we love to
spectacle.
see a Slovakia win, and that was an upset that actually like happened. Sweden got 60
Yeah,
shots on Italy, and they were tied or leading for a lot of this game. Like I believe 20 minutes in total, they were either tied or leading. That's really really impressive considering this probably should have been just based off of the shots alone. This probably should have been like an 8-1 game, like at least probably like 10 nothing. But the goalies for Italy were just ridiculous. Like they were making amazing saves, and I don't think Sweden was actually getting the looks that they necessarily wanted. And there were a ton of empty nets. I think of the one before they opened up and scored the third goal. Sweden Zibanejad had a wide open miss net off of an amazing pass, but the Sweden really they still controlled this game, but I was really impressed with how Italy kind of trapped up with they took advantage of the smaller ice surface, I thought.
yeah. I think the thing that impressed me the most about the Italians, save for the goaltending, obviously, Clara was fantastic, and we had to go out. Fernandi came in, and honestly, I thought Fernandi played pretty well.
Yeah.
But what really impressed me the most was their physicality in front of the net. Like it's a pretty old kind of hockey mantra of clearing the crease and letting your goalie see pucks and like not just letting pucks drop. But every time Sweden tried to just power and power forward move their way into the front of the net, they weren't letting them do that. There were
Yeah.
times where Sebastian would try and beat a guy wide, he'd get pushed off the puck. you know, Pedersen or Brad or someone would try and make a skill move to the inside, it wouldn't happen. There'd be point shots where Clara would either gobble them up and not give a rebound, or the rebound would fall and Italy would be able to win the puck battle and get on the puck first. That is how you keep a game close like that. They, like you said, they didn't give up much in transition, which I think was big. I thought they were the better team in transition. In all honesty, they actually gave a few scares to Sweden. Maybe they didn't have the finishing skill or the breakaway speed all the time, but they really actually got to a point where they were putting Sweden on their heels in transition, and it wasn't just Sweden throwing bodies up and pinching every time because they knew that no matter what, it's not like the Italians could do anything. They had to respect it a little bit, and yeah, just being able to keep that home plate area clean, not give Sweden a million slot chances and opportunities, actually kind of making them work for what they had to
Yeah.
do. And then the goalie did the rest. It was a good performance. It was probably a 99th percentile performance from what you could hope for as an Italian.
Yeah. I mean, I think of how many times did, especially like Jesper Bratt, like cut in on the left and was looking for that lane in the net, but just couldn't do anything. Either pass it along the boards or kept going along the boards, and basically nothing would come of the chance. That like they just would get a point shout out of it. So that was pretty good. JC, did you have any comments on the game?
I was watching Pedersen a lot, obviously for obvious reasons. First of all, he had the play where he had a wide open wraparound and got hooked, and it just wasn't called. That
Yeah.
pissed me off. So I want to see him produce. And then he had the breakaway where he actually made a good move, and Claro just like used every single bit of his strength to stretch and get that puck. Like it literally broke him to make that save. So like, what are you gonna do when the other goalie is sacrificing his life to make a save on you? And then he also that open net that Zibanejad had missed. Pedersen would have gotten the secondary on that. Zibanejad decided to not score that and then score later when Pedersen no longer had the assist attached to it. So nothing for Pedersen in this game, but I thought he played fine. It is kind of funny that the third line is Holmberg, Wenberg, Landeskog. Like Wenberg and Holmberg both got more time than Zibanejad, Raquel, and Pedersen. And I mean, they do. I think they're both on the penalty kill, right? But still, like, it feels weird that that would happen because honestly, I thought Zibanejad, Pedersen, Raquel was pretty good in
They
this
were
game.
really good.
Yeah.
And Holmberg I
Also,
thought
Italy
was
only had one
useless.
power play anyway, so
Yeah.
it's not like the
Yeah.
penalty killing thing really matters.
Like, do we really need Pontus Holmberg out there that much?
I didn't
Not
like
in
him
a
out there
game
today.
where he just
Also, Phil Forsberg played a minute and
yeah,
7 seconds,
shift.
and he got absolutely walked in that time, and that was it. That was all he played. And
Should have
Oliver
just stayed
Ekman-Larsson
in the
didn't play
hotel.
anything. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy that Pontus Holmberg can play 14 minutes in a game while Philip Forsberg on the same team is playing 1 minute.
These coaches are actually insane.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
It's a theme. Like everyone talks about, how the North American teams like oh, how could the US leave Caulfield and DeBrincat and Jason Robertson at home, or like how could Canada not bring, Chikrin or Bouchard or whatever, like, or Bedard even. Like these European coaches do the same things just in even weirder ways. Like it's just a coaching thing. You some guys just gravitate to defensively responsible guys that, fill their bottom six roles when there are times where like why, especially when they were tied in like the second period. Like Philip Forsberg has what, 24 goals this year, 23
Yeah.
assists. Like he's been a point a game player in the NHL. And I know I mentioned this in the group chat earlier, but I made the Sweden Lions prediction video back in December before their roster got released, just to, as a video to make. And there were some Swedes in the comments saying, I put Philip Forsberg on the first line, I think. And there were people in the comments saying Philip Forsberg does not perform for the national team. Like he doesn't play well for us here. Like I guess they're right, but give him a chance.
Like
It's the Olympics.
he's supposed to be arguably their best forward. Like him and Nylander probably would be their best
Yeah,
guys.
especially with Leo Carlson.
Yeah. It's it's weird. It's tough. And you mentioned the other team snubs, and people don't talk about the European teams as much because there's not as many obviously fans of them in the NHL. They're more from Europe. Um, Leaving William Eklund off for Pontus Holmberg, that is probably the worst snub like in the entire Olympics. If we're just talking about elite player to third line talent compared to like having Doughty on there over Bouchard would probably be, or Chikrin would be another one where it's like that's a like number 2, number 3 defenseman for an elite defenseman. The drop off is not as serious as that, I think.
For what it's worth, I think Sanheim is worse than Doughty.
That too. That too. I think Sanheim is at least genuinely good defensively. Doughty doesn't do anything for me. But we'll probably talk about that for another hour.
We'll get there.
No, man, I want to eat my burgers.
Go eat your burger, bro. Shut up, burger boy.
Make them.
Oh, you got to make it, bro. You got burger on the mind.
I could be an Uber Eats legend right now.
You could go do that. You know what? That's
That's
specifically what that is for. That's right.
I get paid in 2 days.
Hey,
Mid Uber Eats during the podcast. Veteran savvy move.
he's jester gooning right now.
I don't think that's what that means.
I don't know what that means.
I also don't know what that means. I don't know.
Chat.
I'm
What does jester gooning mean? Comment
I
below.
think isn't it Jester Maxing?
No, it's jester
I don't
gooning.
know. I'm
Jester Gooning? I don't think we're the age group for this. I don't
No.
really want to talk about.
Is there an
curricular.
age group for that? I hope there's not.
Yes.
Jester gooning is emerging slang, likely a mashup of jester, acting like a fool to entertain, often seen as beta in online lingo, and gooning, translate prolonged masturbation. In context, it means awkwardly clowning around to impress people, especially women, in a cringy, self-indulgent way. Think silly dancing at a club. See it in memes about looks maxing or incel culture.
Looks maxing. Dude, who comes up
Anyway,
with these
back
terms?
to the Olympics.
How did we get okay. I wanted to talk about the Oilers briefly because they lost 3 in a row really badly right before they entered the Olympics. And the Oilers fan base is kind of pissed off, and I'm kind of pissed off, and I'm kind of genuinely tired of the Oilers season at this point. Because they were playing so good. They look like they finally, they hit that point of the season where it's like game 50 and suddenly it clicks and they're like good again. And they showed that, and that was true. And then they turned it around and they stopped completely trying. And I can't even tell if they're good or not. We talk about whether the Pacific is good or not. The Vegas Golden Knights lead the Pacific, and they have a losing record by 3 losses. By 3 losses. You want to talk about the Pacific Division?
I could
No,
go
I
on
wanna
for a
talk
long
about the
time
Olympics.
the Pacific Division, but I don't think this is the time for that.
Sorry.
Seattle Kraken, third in the division.
People were talking about bringing Paul Coffey back, and there was a rumor that he was coming back. Was that Penn Yoda that reported that? I don't know. Whoever reported it, you're credibility as a fraud because he's not coming back. He doesn't want to coach. People pretend that
He's
Paul
racist.
Coffey is the like Bouchard or like the
He also hates
nurse
brown people.
whisper. You know, he
hates
might.
brown. Paul Coffey hates brown people.
Unconfirmed.
Paul Coffey hates brown people. He's racist.
Unconfirmed.
Let it be known. Let
Pacific
it be known.
Perspectives does not
I'm
endorse
going on
this
a
message.
record as saying this. Paul Coffey hates brown people.
That's a Canucks fan. I'll give you his address if Paul Coffey's watching. You can send the goons. You can send the Jester goons to his house.
He does. Do you not remember?
I know it exactly the specific moment you're talking about. There's no video evidence.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Just don't believe victims.
Not
That's
that
classic.
not that I'm gonna like adore Paul Coffey. I don't think he's anything special. That's what my point is here. People are talking about how because he left, suddenly the Oilers can't play defense, which I mean they've shown this year that they can. They just on the whole of the year they're not really committed to it. But if you think Paul Coffey, a guy who basically has no coaching experience, just sitting on the bench and telling Bouchard, "Hey, you got to back check a little better," you think that is like seriously changing the numbers here? Is seriously changing the play? That it's just one of the dumbest narratives out there in the entire NHL right now. I had to talk about that. Anyways, we can move on back to the.
Why is Bouchard back checking in the first place? He's a defenseman. He shouldn't put himself in that bad position.
Shut up. You have Zeev Buium on your team. We can shut up.
Hey, he's 20. He gets a pass. Bouchard's like 30.
he's like 40, dude.
Lane,
Oh, he looks 40.
Lane Hudson looks 20.
Hello?
Lane
Who
Hudson looks
does?
like 12.
He does look 12. He looks exactly like what I looked like when I was like 10.
I don't even know who we're talking about right now.
Lane Hudson.
Lane Hudson.
Oh. Yeah, he looks like he bites people.
So Canada plays Czechia tomorrow.
They do.
Yeah, now I'm scared.
I'm a
I
little
agree.
scared.
I was just saying this, like, I was kind of expecting like France and Italy to just be complete pushovers, like, and nothing losses every game, like just happy to be there. But like now that this Italy thing has happened, I wasn't gonna wake up for Switzerland versus France at 6 in the morning Eastern time because I didn't think
No,
it would
thank
be a
you.
game worth watching. It's probably a game worth watching now, so my alarm may be set. We'll see. We'll see.
I'm
I,
not even waking up for 6 a.m. Sweden, Finland.
I'm
I
doing
don't care enough.
I'm doing that. Yeah, Canada Czechia. I think Jordan Binnington is probably going to start. It's definitely not confirmed yet. I think Cooper said he was telling his goalie tonight, which I guess would have happened by now because they're in Milan. But I assume it's going to be Binnington, and I don't know how that's going to go.
You know what though? They have to be trolling by putting the only competitive team in Canada's division being Czechia, and I just feel like it's going to happen. I just feel like they're going to get upset by them, just because it's Canada Czechia with how the World Juniors has gone lately. You just know.
Maybe. I think I've been saying that I think the biggest impact of this tournament, especially in the bigger games, is going to be based on like puck retrievals and puck battles on the boards. And they were pointing out on the broadcast in one of the intermissions of Finland Slovakia how much the puck was taking like weird caroms of the boards and how the ice wasn't perfect right around the boards yet. I think Jordan Binnington's biggest strength as a goalie these days, like the biggest reason why you play him behind Team Canada's defense, is his puck playing ability. If that is neutralized by the fact that the boards are not good enough for him to be able to accurately predict how the puck's going to come to him,
He's finished.
what does he do? Because at that point you have the worst goalie in the NHL.
Literally
I
the
know he
worst
rises to
goalie in the
occasion.
NHL.
I know he rises to the occasion, but what is the benefit to playing him over Logan Thompson, who has been like a Vezina finalist caliber goalie for a season and a half now?
I'm not confident in any of the players on Canada besides the forwards. I'm not going to lie to you. Even like Cale Makar
I'm
is
confident in
good.
Cale Makar. Can I go on? Can I just say real quick? I'm confident in Cale Makar, please.
Okay,
Can I just say that?
I'm confident in him, but he hasn't been world-ending this year. he hasn't been Nathan McKinnon level, Connor
I
McDavid
mean,
level
this year,
this
but
year.
as in like 2026 this year. Like since the calendar flipped, I agree. He's
Yes,
been quite average.
not no the
That's the reason
season.
Colorado's kind of
Yeah,
dropped.
he's been bad recently, like bad.
I agree. But so is Sidney Crosby, and nobody's really noticed that because the Pens are winning every game because their depth has been unreal.
But it's Sidney
Like,
Crosby.
yeah, but why can't we say the same thing about Kel McCarr?
I'm just saying. I say that around, but well, Sidney Crosby can be kind of bad, even if he's bad this tournament. That changes absolutely nothing for Canada. I feel like they have so many forwards that can step. If Cale Makar has a bad tournament, they're getting wiped out in the quarterfinals. Like it makes such a difference, especially
I wouldn't say
defensively.
quarterfinals, but
If he lacks
I think that's fair.
defensively like he has recently in the last like in January, it could be really tough. It could be really tough because Josh Morrissey's having a tough year defensively. I don't even need to talk to you about Travis Sanheim and Drew Doughty. Colton Parayko actually pretty good this year, even if his like I think he scored his first goal last week
Yeah,
of the season.
you know
But who
what's so
cares about
funny
that?
is we made a trade. The Colton Parayko was in that McDavid trade. I had him for like 50 games. He didn't score a single goal, and you had him for like 2 games and then dropped him. And as soon as he wasn't on the roster, he scored a goal.
He likes his new owner.
No. He didn't score on your team. You dropped him.
You did drop him.
I revitalized him. He came into the HC Dynamo part of the Beats home training gym. He got some
The
training.
laboratory.
He stepped in the lab.
Anyway, yeah, I agree. And also, like Thomas Harley, really good last year, has not been good this year at all. Doesn't look like he's ever gotten back up to pace after the early injury. Shea Theodore, I think he's been really good this year. I think it's been his best year in a while. But
He's an extra, isn't he?
I was gonna say I don't know if he's even gonna be playing. I you can dress seven defensemen. I assume he'll be the seventh defenseman dressed, but I don't know. I feel like I agree with you in the fact that I think Canada's defense kind of scares me. I just like how good do you think Cale Makar was at the Four Nations last year? Like, I'm not like trying to quiz you. I'm just asking you what your thoughts were on him
He
in that tournament.
he was the best. He was the best defenseman at the tournament. I think.
No way. I disagree.
I think he
I
was.
think I think
Him and
Eric
Carlson.
Carlson was absolutely the best defenseman at the tournament. But even I think it's hard to say McAvoy because he got hurt, but McAvoy was better in the games he played.
Slavin.
Um, Slavin, yeah, maybe no one on Finland, but there aren't a lot of
It
options.
might
Either
be
way,
because he stood out in his puck playing ability because nobody besides he was way better than even Morrissey. I thought Morrissey had a tough tournament.
yeah.
Like besides Harley, I thought he was the only defenseman that really could advance the puck and get it to the forwards. And that's what really scares me, especially in this tournament. Like you said, the puck retrievals, like the D zone kind of breakouts, like facilitating that. They have zero facilitators on the back end. I think at an elite level, even when you compare to a team like Sweden, I think I feel like Philip Broberg. He's not like a ridiculously elite defenseman, but I think his specific skill set is great for this tournament, and we saw it in that game. He was good against. I mean, it was Italy, so we can't really take much away from that. But I feel like Canada has so few of those guys that are good defensively, can play the body, and can move the puck. Not necessarily like create a ton of offense and get points, but actually like transition the puck. It does scare me. It really does.
Every passing day, it feels odder and odder that they didn't take a Schaefer or a Chikrin. I can understand like Chikrin and Bouchard in like their specific skill sets are a little bit more offensive zone coded than anything. Like Bouchard's a fantastic first pass kind of guy, make the right pass. But if you think of like he's not Bouchard's not skating the puck end to end at this level.
Yeah.
Matthew Schaefer is.
Yeah.
Like
He totally is.
I I feel like you're talking about that kind of skill set. Maybe they're a little worried. Like he can get burned defensively sometimes. You know, he can run around a little bit because he's an 18-year-old defenseman. But I don't know. I just don't get the point of Travis Sanheim. Other than the fact, the only benefit to him, I feel like, is he can skate and defend at an okay level, and he can play on both sides. But Shea Theodore does everything Travis Sanheim does, but better. Why do you need both of them?
I just to me, yeah. I don't get it. That they really on paper this should be one of if not the best Canada rosters that they could have ever iced in like Canada's history of ice hockey. Like McKinnon, Crosby, and McDavid, all three in their prime. Maybe not Crosby in his prime, but McKinnon and McDavid in their prime with a generational defenseman on the back end. Just forget Chikrin and Bouchard. Take any other Canadian defenseman than Doughty and Sanheim, and just take the guys who are actually playing great. For like there are so many, and they take the wrong. Even for playing this style of game, if you wanted Stanley Cups, what has Travis Sanheim ever done in the playoffs ever in his career? Has he ever even played in an important game in the 2020s? I don't think he has.
2020 bubble. 2020 bubble, the Flyers made a run.
The
He was
bubble.
pretty good in
The
that,
bubble.
actually. But that's it.
That's what I mean. Like, what is their criteria for taking these defensemen besides we drew them out of a hat last time we played, and McDavid, McKinnon, and McCarr carried us to the win at Four Nations. So now we're going to take these same 6 bums that we had before. That's the only criteria they have.
So, like, Doughty has Olympic experience. I understand the rationale behind taking Doughty for him being Drew Doughty. Maybe not for his play on the ice. I think he's been better than like he's had a bad PDO lately, and I think so that's kind of driven, the narrative around him a little bit more than anything. But like Drew Doughty was there in 2010, he was there in 2014. He gets it. There's no other defenseman on this roster that has that kind of experience. You can take 8 defensemen. If Drew Doughty stinks it up, you don't have to play him. You can just have him in the locker room for being Drew Doughty. Maybe you risk someone getting hurt and you have to play him and he sucks. But like whatever.
When was the last time that Drew Doughty was a part of a team that won a playoff series? Stay with me now. When was the last 2014?
You said stay with me now, exactly like Chad Ochocinco does in the.
He hasn't won. He hasn't won an NHL playoff series in 12 years, and you're taking him for his winning?
The Kings haven't won a series since they won the cup, which is a crazy stat, actually.
Like he has directly played his direct competition for this Olympic spot, Evan Bouchard, and Evan Bouchard has blown him out of the water the last 3 years. Again, what is the criteria for taking these at forward? I totally understand it. At goalie,
the forward, I'm
whatever.
In favor of every forward decision they made. I think maybe not every single one, but basically as a whole, I'm in favor of what they did.
Yeah, and people, especially Oilers fans and Jets fans, were talking. Oh, what about Scheifele? Oh, what about Hyman? Dude, there are 20 forwards you could take besides McDavid and McKinnon. That like I don't care. It doesn't like they're all elite forwards. They're all like some of them are great defensively, some of them are great offensively. Like oh no, we're taking Anthony Cirelli. Like who cares?
Best penalty killing center in the league, probably.
Literally,
at least up there. Definitely best Canadian one. And I know he's hurt and not playing.
Yeah, but it's gonna
like,
suck.
What happens? Oh no, we have to have like Bo Horvat there now. Who's been a great penalty killing forward for the Islanders? Or Nick Suzuki has to play more penalty killing minutes, which he doesn't really play that much penalty killing in Montreal because they need him for the rest of the game. But when they need him to, he plays. Scored a shorthanded goal against the Avalanche the other week. Like you have so many guys who can fill so many roles, and
there he is, Bo
good
Horvat. Fans, like, I haven't seen enough talk about how insane the picks on the defense are. It's all been, I can't believe they didn't bring Bedard. I can't believe they didn't bring Scheifele or, oh, Hyman snubbed off the team. Shut up! It doesn't matter.
Who the hell is talking about Hyman?
Basically, every Oilers fan I've seen.
Fans talk about Hyman. It's no one outside of Edmonton because everyone outside of Edmonton.
Yeah, because why does it matter?
Let me rephrase. Who's mentioning Hyman to the degree that Bedard and Scheifele are getting mentioned?
Nobody.
Oilers fans.
Yeah. I expected them to use Mark Stone in this.
Where's Jake DeBrusk? Where's Jake DeBrusk, guys? Where's Jake DeBrusk? Where's Tyler Myers?
Josh Anderson not on the Olympic team? What are we?
But doing? Like you could bring Jake DeBrusk, and I genuinely it would
Xavier
be weird.
Pisses me the fuck off.
I would not bat an eye. Because they've got 12 elite forwards that like you throw Jake DeBrusk there, he'll be good. It doesn't matter.
I think I would bat an eye if they took Jake DeBrusk.
Okay, yeah, that'd be weird. But
the point is, I know what you mean. Like you could take Bedard would be on this roster, and nobody would be complaining that Bedard's on this roster. even Hyman could be there, and I think there would be a good rationale, and he would play well. Like again, they're just using Tom Wilson in the Zach Hyman role because Tom Wilson's probably a slightly better player, not by much, but
That's
he
another
he
thing. Why are
does.
people pretending that Wilson is a bum? I love him on that line with McDavid and Celebrini. That
Yeah,
like he's playing the Hyman role.
and I would say puck retrievals, net front presence, like it's it's all about building a good line, and you all of a sudden now have four good lines. That like the U.S. matches Slavin Faber and like the Eichel and Kachuk's line hardcore against McDavid every single shift in the gold medal game. Well, now you've got Nathan McKinnon's line against whoever else you want. Oh, and like that doesn't work. Then you got Sidney Crosby's line. Like it's so that is the advantage. That is the way Canada's going to
Yep.
win because you aren't going to be able to shut down everything.
And then the fourth line is Hagel and Reinhardt. Like, and
Yeah,
those are first line elite guys. Like the USA is good, but they don't have that. You could take that. You could take McKinnon and McDavid, and then remove all of the forwards, all of the other 13 forwards that they have besides those three on this team. Take the B team of the forward team, and it would still be the best team.
Are you not moved by JT Miller?
No, we are not moved.
yeah.
Why
I
not?
the US's picks at forward are in the same vein of weirdness as what Canada did on D.
Yeah.
Like, what is the purpose of JT Miller?
On a team
He's,
with
he's,
Brock Nelson
he's
and Vincent
tenacious.
Trocheck already,
He just like okay when you need a big face-off win in
he
the
won't
third
do it.
period, and Vincent Trocheck's injured. Who are you sending out there?
Brock Nelson, when he's
Mark
injured,
Nelson? Yeah.
then you send out Austin
But who's also going to
Matthews.
start who's also going to fight on that same exact draw? Yeah, there you go.
The two Kachucks that are on his wing, like
Yeah.
You just don't have enough people there who are racist. You needed another racist.
though they've got plenty.
Whatever.
They got plenty there. Let me tell you.
I think that they've got a lot of other ones like loaded up in
No,
the
no,
arsenal.
you can never have enough on Team USA.
Yeah, that is true. Man, that American defense is good though.
It is.
And they fucked up there too.
But that's another thing. It's like it's
Not
that's
Hannafin.
it with the way you said the Canada and the D and the USA's forwards are kind of in the same weird ilk with the selection. That's the exact same thing I feel about Canada's forwards and USA's D. It's not physically possible to like choose it wrong. Like oh yeah, they
Well,
didn't pick the six best defensemen from the USA, but they
Well,
still have like six of the best like 10, and it's a good fit no matter what it is because there's just so many great American defensemen. And like right
yeah,
now,
I would
Sanderson
have.
would probably be their third best defenseman, and he's not playing. That's an oversight.
He is. They changed the lines.
Oh, I thought he was the
Hannafin is
eighth.
the seventh defenseman.
Oh, okay.
By the way, Jackson Lacombe is better
I,
than Noah Hannafin. Jackson Lacombe should be the seventh defenseman.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say like I don't know if the comparison works as well here because I think Jarvis over Bedard is fine. I don't think that Hannafin over Fox is fine.
I mean, it's dumb, but
Yeah,
you're gonna live
I agree
without
with
Adam
that.
Fox.
I get the point in that like the difference between Noah Hannafin playing 6 minutes a night and Adam Fox playing 6 minutes a night is nothing. Like that's not going to make a
Yeah.
discernible difference in this tournament. Even if Quinn Hughes gets hurt again, like Zach Werenski is an elite power play one quarterback. Jake Sanderson is an elite power play one quarterback. Charlie McAvoy is maybe not an elite power play one quarterback, but he can do it. Like they can live like without a Hudson or a Fox or whatever. I,
I
I
like
wonder. Oh, go ahead.
I like Hughes with McAvoy, but I'm surprised that they don't have him with Faber.
I am too. I'm a little bit surprised they didn't go Werenski, McAvoy, Hughes, Faber, and then like Slavin, Sanderson. I feel like that would have made more sense. Maybe they get there at some point in the tournament, but that's what I would have done.
Yeah, that's what I would have did.
Yeah, that's what I would have did.
Yeah, that's what I would have done. Their defense does scare me. We'll see how important that is by like the next few games or the next few days here. I should say over the next few games. We'll see how important like having that very solid back end is, and we'll see if it really affects Canada. I mean, they're playing Czechia. That it will be a test, but they should win that game. Um, and then on Friday they're playing Switzerland. Again, that'll be a test, but they should win that game. If they have any struggles at
I
all, and it's not from the defense, I'd be very surprised.
have a question for Rory. This sounds like the "why didn't you go on a date with me" thing, but it's not that. Um, who do you think will win Czechia Switzerland?
I think I think it'll be Czechia, but I think Switzerland will do better in the knockouts. I think Czechia will win the group stage game though. It just in terms of how the tournament is set up in terms of like the way that the games work and whatever and the schedule flow. But I had to for the hockey news where I work, they put out like a poll for other writers about like doing Olympic predictions, and I picked Switzerland as my like surprise team, and I think I picked them for bronze just to be different. I don't
Yeah,
think they're actually going to win bronze, but I think they could make a
they could.
semifinal and then whatever. I like Switzerland's depth a little bit better than the Czechs at all three positions. Like the
Yeah.
Swiss don't have a Pasternak.
Okay. Wait. Wait.
Um,
Wait. 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 Hang on. Hang on. I don't like the Swiss depth more on goalie than Czechia.
yeah, okay, true. Sorry, true. I I like the Swiss goalies though. I think Akira Schmid is not like an elite NHL goalie. He's not even a starter, but he's been playing good hockey of late. Like he's been better than Aiden Hill
He can have
lately.
a run.
Fred O'Bara is, a veteran kind of legend that's been around it, whatever. Leonardo Giannoni's stats at the World Championships the last 3 years are unbelievably good. And I know it's the World Championships and not the Olympics, and I know the competition isn't as good. But the U.S. team last year with the one gold, 1-0 in overtime against the Swiss in that gold medal game, with Clayton Keller and Tage Thompson and Shane Pinto and Zach Werenski and Mason Lowry and Frank Nazar and Will Smith and Jeremy Swayman was their goalie. Like that
Uh,
team could score one goal on Leonardo Giannoni in the gold medal game,
Damn,
and that Swiss team beat the U.S. in the group stage. Like the Swiss non-NHL players are better than anyone else in this tournament to
that's
me.
true.
Like out of non-NHL players. Like other than like if Russia was here, whatever KHLers Russia would bring would be better than the Swiss domestic players. But the NL is a great league, and there are a lot of good domestic Swiss players playing there.
I found it really funny looking at their lines because I think it's really funny that the second line is above the third line because the third line's like way better. I'm wondering why it's listed like that because the third line I think is Khrushchev, Suter, Meyer. I think that's what it is, and the second line is just like really random.
We'll see how the ice game plays out though, because I think sometimes like the way that European coaches set up their lines don't actually reflect how they play them. Like the Hintz and Rantanen line for Finland today was listed as the first line, and they got third line minutes. So it'll depend on how the game goes. I think the Czechs. To get back to your question, I think the Czechs will beat the Swiss in overtime in the group stage, and I think the Swiss will somehow like maybe they'll get into a way where they play like a Finland or something in a quarterfinal game after the like whatever play in qualification. This format is awful, by the way.
Yeah.
But like, and they'll be able to beat a Finland, get to a semifinal, like lose to the U.S. or something. By the way, on that note, there's like a pretty. Everyone is just kind of assuming that the Canada and the U.S. are going to play at some point. That is very far from guaranteed. Like, if they end up the 1 and 2 seeds, which at this point it kind of looks likely because of how Group B played out today, they won't meet each other until a gold medal game, and it takes one Sweden win or Finland win or Czechia win or
Yeah.
Slovakia win apparently, and Canada and the US will not meet each other. Like,
Yep.
I don't think it's more likely than not that that's not the gold medal game, but it's a pretty good
You
chance.
could
Or
potentially
maybe
be
they meet each
wrong.
other in the semifinal like they did in 2014. It's
That
not
would suck.
that would suck, but it's not like drawn out that like the gold medal game has to be Canada USA.
Yeah.
It's the most likely scenario, but it's not. I don't know. I think everyone's just assuming that it's going to end up being that way when I don't know. The way that the format works and the fact that Group B's already been so weird makes me think that it might not play out that way.
People, in general, I think people are really, really underrating the mid-tier nations like Czechia,
Yes,
Switzerland,
definitely.
and here's a little one. Germany, I, that top power play. I think if they're given space, and again, if their depth guys can kind of hold it to within like not. I mean, obviously they're not going to trade chances with a Hagel Reinhardt like fourth line. Like that's just not going to happen. But if they can potentially, they can easily beat Denmark. I think they're the better team. But if they can grab 2 wins here, they can put themselves in really good position. And I think they can genuinely be the best of those kind of mid-tier nations, even as good as Czechia. Even though they don't really have the defensive depth, I think it's possible. Because I think they might have
I
the
don't
best
know.
goalie here. They might have the best goalie between all those nations this year.
Maybe, but I don't know. We saw Samuel Lavai, who has an 888 save percentage in the AHL this year, put up 36
Yeah, it
saves
might not
against
matter.
Finland's NHL players. It's a small tournament. Stuff happens. Like Grubauer could suck. Like Philip Gustafsson played awful today, and who
Yeah.
knows?
Hey,
But
locked in.
But
they lucked
the
in today.
Germans have like they are
They
literally
do.
up there with USA and Canada and their top talent, like Draisaitl and Sider.
I don't think they're is as good as even like a Switzerland though. That's the only problem I have with them.
No, well, I mean, yeah, I'd still take Switzerland over them. Just I think they've got
Yeah,
serious upset potential for
I see
top
the thing.
teams.
I think if you look at it as the Olympics are going to be a strong link tournament and your best players are going to will you to wins, then I think you've got a chance. And I think Slovakia kind of showed today that that is possible. Because honestly, their bottom nine was in the defensive zone like half the game,
Yeah.
especially at the start. But their top line scored, you know, 2 goal or I guess 3 goals, including the empty netter, and they scored on the power play. And Dvorsky got one, who's also a good prospect. I guess he's in the NHL now, but like he's still kind of a prospect at a national team level. And they beat Finland, who clearly like Finland's worst player is clearly better than Slovakia's worst player. So if you think it's going to be a weak league game where if Germany's fourth line sucks, Canada will find a way to get through them. Or I guess the USA is a better example because they're actually going to play them. Like you know, Kyle Connor and Tate Thompson are going to get out there against Germany's bottom six and just
But I
cause
mean,
havoc.
even Germany like they have mostly NHL players. Like it's their fourth line is what like Sturm and Szymanski and Reeder. Like that's decent. And I mean, you've got 2 legit lines. Like you've got Draisaitl and whatever bums they're playing him with. It was Reichel and Cahoon, and then you've got a
Yeah,
legit
Berglund did.
second
Hey, hey,
line
hey,
with
hey, hey,
Paterka
hey,
and
hey, hey,
Stutzel.
hey, hey, watch your fucking
Reichel's in
mouth.
the AHL.
Watch your fucking mouth. I don't
They also,
have much.
yeah, but they also have Wojciech Stachowiak playing with AJ Paterka and Tim Stützle. I actually think Stachowiak's a good player. Yeah, it's Tiffel, Samansky, and Tuomi third line. It's Alex
Yeah,
Ayla with Sturm and Toby Reeder on the
I'm
fourth
just
line.
saying.
Again,
Watch out.
it's not bad, but like other than Sider is going to play 30 minutes a game, right? Like
Yeah, I worry for his health. If I'm Detroit, I'm like, can you please shut this guy down? Like, that's some heat, by the way.
that is something. Yeah, I think that's the difference. Like even Slovakia has two, actually three, I guess, solid NHL defensemen in Ferravari, Nemetz, and Chernak.
Germany has
Like
one.
Switzerland, yeah, Germany has one, and the one is elite. He's been a top 5 defenseman this year, but
We'll see how the European League defensemen fare. I really hope. I think they can have the ability to actually step up and be as good as them for like at least a game, at least a week. But
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see how it unfolds as they go against top NHL players.
I definitely think they'll beat Denmark. As Denmark kind of had the miracle run of the 2025 Worlds that kind of has me interested.
Yeah.
Like, can Frederick Deco or however you pronounce it step up again? He beat the Crosby, Celebrini, McKinnon Canada
Oh
team.
yeah. I mean, and they're a team too who I think you need to respect their European
Yeah,
League depth. Like they have a lot
yeah.
of really good guys.
I like Group C. I think Group C is going to be fun. I think the US is going to go 3-0 pretty easily because I think the US is kind of built to dominate a group stage.
Yeah.
But like those other, like there's a world where all three of those teams beat each other, and it
Yeah.
makes
They'll be a
the
competitive group.
down. It makes the seeding for that qualification game all screwed up, and I think that's going to be fun. But that's why it makes it so important for Canada, for Sweden, for Finland. Finland already kind of failed at that today. For the USA to get one of those top 4 seeds because it's so important to get a bye when your one off could be Germany lost a game against Latvia that they shouldn't have, and all of a sudden you have to play Germany in the 6v10 game or something, or I guess 7v10 game,
Yeah.
and then all of a
Format is
sudden
weird.
Leon Draisaitl goes on a rampage, scores 3 goals, Philip Grubauer makes 45 saves, and you're out.
Yep.
Like, it's not likely, but it's possible.
I want to say I really hate the Czech forward depth. It's taken me a while to get to say that. I wanted to say that like 10
It's
minutes
not
ago,
good.
but it's just
Yeah.
so funny how it, like the drop off, because the first line's Natchez, Hurdle, Pasternak, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And then immediately it goes to Palat, Kampf, and Kasha. And then it's Cervenka, Sedlak, Tomasek.
Yeah,
Then
people really
Stransky,
don't
Fasta,
realize
Kubalik.
how awful that kind of, especially the bottom six.
Bad.
I
And
They're
respect that second
missing
line,
some
but
names. Like, they're missing who? Um, Edel, obviously. They're missing Yuri Kulik. Who's they're missing a third player. I can't remember who it is off the top of my head. It's annoying me that I'm forgetting who it is.
wait, who are you talking about?
Zaka. Zaka's the other one
oh
they're
yeah,
missing. So they're
Zaka.
Wait,
missing
who are?
like, a whole second line.
I zoned out because I was trying to figure out what handedness Radim Shimek is.
Sharks legend.
Is what handedness is he?
I
You'd
think he's
think
left,
left.
but don't quote me.
You'd think
Okay, because I
left.
know I know Jan Ruda's right-handed and he's playing on the left side. So like Czechia just produces right-handed defensemen, and it's really funny. I also find their bottom pairing of Jan Ruda, David Spacek to be very funny as a pairing.
Fire.
Yeah. Spacek's gotten some NHL time this year, to be fair to him. I think he's all right.
Well, I'm not saying that it's like that bad. I'm just saying I think it's a funny
Yeah.
Yeah,
duo
okay,
of
fair enough.
old ass
I
motherfucker and
I think
young guy,
because
both right-handed defensemen on the third pair. Just it feels like the most random pairing in this whole tournament.
yep. I think because of their World Junior success, especially like against Canada recently, and their younger guys, like the younger generation of Czechs, is definitely better than what they have now. Um, at least the depth wise, people don't realize that Czechia right now is in a pretty bad spot. I'd say their Olympic roster is like I said, it's down there with like Slovakia and Germany, and we think of Slovakia and Germany as definite like third tier kind of Olympic countries here for hockey, and Czechia is supposed to be in that upper group. I mean, you think about historically, they've had some success, they've had some great players, but
Well, they
recently
won in '98. They won the gold
yeah,
medal in '98.
no
To be
chance
fair,
of that this year.
that was Paschik. Like,
Yeah,
but yeah, I do like yeah. I think I agree with you in the fact that I think people think that there's 3 tiers. I think there's 3 tiers in a different way. Like, I think Canada and the US are probably in their own tier here, especially with the injuries that Finland and Sweden have this year. Like, no, Leo Carlson, like both of them are without their top end center, and I think that just crumples them against Canada and the US in terms of like in a matchup. But I think it's those two, and then it's Finland, Sweden, and then I think you're right. Like, I think Slovakia, Germany, Czechia, Switzerland, um, they're all together. Even you could probably make an argument that like a Latvia or a Denmark could prove themselves to be that good.
I'd maybe throw
So
Denmark in there, not Latvia though.
I
mm,
wanted to bring up Latvia because their forward lines are kind of a little bit dust. I mean, their 1C Zemgus Jurgensen's probably their best
Respect
offensive
him.
forward. Genuinely might be Teddy Bluger. I'm not kidding.
I think it's
Um,
Vilmanis, but
uh, Bill Manis is going to spend his time headhunting. So,
true.
um, the one person that I do want to point out on their roster is Albert Schmitz, who was in the World Juniors and is an upcoming draft prospect. And I was wondering, I don't want to Google it, so I know you're going to know. Are there any other guys who were in the World Juniors who are in the Olympics?
Um, I believe the answer is no.
That's what I thought.
They
So
didn't
this
take
is like
Matejko.
you, as the Canucks fan, as the person who is going to have a high up draft pick and cares a lot about the top end of this upcoming draft, it's going to be really interesting to see what Albert Schmitz can do for his draft stock here because he's playing against the best of the best. He's going to
I
have to
agree.
face USA.
Yeah.
If he handles himself well in that game and scouts are watching, like that could do wonders for his draft stock.
I said, well, we talked about it top of the show. Like last Olympics, a different no NHLers I know, Slavkovsky played himself from you know top 10-ish pick to first overall in that tournament, and the men's worlds later. But like that was his true breakout. Like this is the biggest stage. So I agree. Also, Xavier, what were you saying about Mateko?
I said they didn't take Mateko.
They did. He got hurt.
Oh.
He like lacerated. I can't remember if it was Achilles or just the back of his leg.
Oh my
In
goodness.
like he got a skate cut in the AHL, and so he
Holy.
couldn't make it. Yeah,
I hate the word lacerated. It sounds so violent.
Yeah, it
it
does.
is like it was violent.
What a
Yeah, but I
disgusting
hate
word.
it too. I love looking at these Latvian names.
Yeah,
They're so awesome.
They all end in S. Dude,
They
Chris
all end in
Evans is
S, that's
actually a
right.
good player.
Dude,
Not all of
No.
them. Kristaps Gila.
There's Bluger and
Yeah, Bluger.
Batna.
you know,
Batna.
I did not realize that Bluger has 8 points in 10 games. I saw his fantasy average, and it was like 4.3, and I was like, hold on, hold the phone.
Yeah, in our league it's like 3.5. He's actually crazy. I think we're gonna get a second round pick from him. Like,
Again.
before I was thinking third, but I think we can definitely pull a second if he's gonna play like that. I mean, he's actually been good. He's a very good player.
Yeah.
He's gonna be big for Latvia. I think he's gonna really push them. That's why I'm saying he's probably their best offensive weapon, because if he's gonna perform with 8 points in 10 games,
Yeah.
I mean,
It'd be hilarious if he ends up
He's
having
not on
like
their
5
PB1
points in
by the
5
looks
games.
of Daily Faceoff.
No.
that makes no sense.
It
No.
doesn't. Like, Reinhard's Krastenberg's is, and Danzak Mellis is good. But
In all fairness, Bluger isn't on the Canucks power play one either, so he can still produce. This could also be good for the Canucks if he has like a really good tournament. This could continue to boost his draft stock. I think there's no way we get a first for him at all, but I think right now his value is a second. I mean, if Anthony Beauvillier got a second last year, I think Bluger is at a second. Maybe if he does well enough, you could push that to like a second and a third. But we'll see.
that's a good point. I've never thought about like players playing themselves into trades at the deadline. Like my mind is kind of like separated Olympics from NHL in that fashion. Who are some other players who like are in this tournament and could like grossly change their trade deadline stock?
Binnington.
Any Canuck besides Hronik?
I don't think Hronik has any stock to change. I think people just understand that he's good.
Yeah, but he's not getting traded.
He's not getting traded. Alan
He's
Wallace
also
is
not
on
getting
Twitter
traded.
saying he's not getting traded. He doesn't want to go anywhere. It's actually pretty funny.
Yeah. No, he's Hronik has been like confirmed not getting traded.
Yeah.
He's
I'll
definitely
give
the next
you know
captain.
what? I'll give you one. Balinskis. He's Latvia's number 1D with Rubens.
Yeah. What does that have to do with the trade deadline? He's
If
been
Florida
one.
Yeah, if Florida sells, Jones is coming back soon.
Do you think they're gonna sell? What's Balinski's? Hold on.
He did extend. He did extend though, is the thing. But
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, what's his contract? Why would they sell him? They need guys that like. Yeah, he's.
it might be another sort of situation where like someone randomly pays a second round pick and it's like okay
That's
Oh,
different
because he
Trocheck.
plays insane at a tournament.
Trocheck's a good
Trocheck
one.
is a good one.
Trocheck is
a good
true.
one.
But again,
It
I feel
kinda
like people
matters how
know
many
his
first-round
value.
picks Bill Guerin's gonna give up for him. Though.
Oh, you know it's gonna be someone on Team USA. You just do.
Trocheck is also listed under the defensive pairings, which is funny.
They had Forsberg there earlier too. It's just the way daily faceoff is structured. They don't have a.
They don't
13th
have the
forward
ability
weapon.
to do 5 rows of forwards.
Yeah.
Johan
What are you
Ovi.
searching right now?
I was looking up Uvis Balinskis' extension. Yeah, his next contract it's an 875K cap hit for 2 years. They need a guy like they can't trade him. They're going to need a guy that is good and can play.
Yeah.
It's different. Like Sordiff never had a path to the NHL. Balinskis is already like a key defenseman for them.
No, that's fair. That was an L take. I'll retract that statement.
Sordiff
I'll
is good
track
though.
that
I like
statement.
Sordiff.
Maybe
Not
Rasmus
teenager.
Ristolainen.
Yeah, that's a good.
I
one.
actually
But he's
forgot
been
he
in
was
trade
playing
rumors
at this
injured all
tournament.
year.
He's been in trade rumors for the past like 3 years, and nothing ever happens.
He's been injured all year too, so like yeah, I agree. He played all right today. I thought definitely wasn't.
I
wasn't
think
his
he's
best
an
game.
absolutely fine defenseman. I think that people are way too hard on him because he was sucky for a while. But I think he plays his role absolutely fine. I think he's
Yeah,
good.
one year left at 5.1 million. No trade protection. If Philly's willing to retain, they could easily get like a first
Oh.
or prospect.
We are actually forgetting probably the biggest one is Lucas Reichel. Because if he gets traded again, he's getting stapled to one of the best power plays in the league: Stützle, Draisaitl, Seider, Paterka.
Yeah.
One of the
I
best
mean,
power
I
plays in the
don't know if
tournament.
this is the biggest one, but it's certainly
Well, no,
one
I
that
mean
could
the
have.
most likely to
I
get traded and influenced by
I
his
think
Olympic
he's
performance.
probably the player whose stock can rise the most,
Yeah,
but it's not really going to rise that far. It's
no,
just
Yeah.
like
to a fifth
if
round
he
pick.
gets a ton of power play points, then it's going to be like, okay, yeah, we'll give you we'll give you your fourth back for this.
I'm excited to
Best case
see
scenario.
Alex Texier on France.
Is he gonna run
Big
Ramage?
nice
You know what? He
area.
might.
He's not
Is-
going to run rampant, but I just like he's their best player by a mile.
Yeah, that's it's actually very very apparent. Like they got him playing with Bellemare right before he wait, isn't he already retired? I was gonna say right before he retires, but he's already retired.
Yeah,
He's
I'm pretty sure he's
40.
like basically just kicking around to play here. They have Louis
Hey,
Boudin too.
Belmar is playing in Switzerland right now. He
Yeah,
has 10
Okay.
points in 32 games in Switzerland,
and he's their
and he is
one C.
he's
Ooh,
France's first line center.
Like Stefan da Costa is not a bad player.
he's good.
Um,
Johano
Kevin
V2,
Bozon's on
respect
the
him.
fourth line. That's kind of crazy.
Johano V2
Johano
is one of those
V2.
right wing. Okay, well they got him playing lefty, but he's a right wing lefty player. That's weird. I love players who are dual position.
Yeah, that I do like that. I
Team
just
sucks.
France, I think, is gonna get blown out more than Italy. I think Italy has the whole like home
Yeah.
crowd and like clearly tactically today they were with it. Again, I don't know enough about France. Maybe they have that too, but like their goalies just suck. Like they're just not very good.
We're all going to wake
Forgot
up to
Dominic
a
Calhoun
5-0
exists.
win over Switzerland.
Do we think it's only gonna be 5? Like again,
No,
it depends. Maybe it's
over
gonna come down to
Switzerland.
penalties.
Like nobody's gonna watch that game. We're gonna wake up and it'll be like France won. That's only
Oh,
that's
you mean
when
they're
I can
gonna
see
win?
it.
Okay,
No,
I'm
no.
I'm waking up for that game. I've made the decision. I'm
Oh
going to bed
my.
early tonight. I'm waking up for that game.
I think
I'll see
it
what I
can be a competitive game. As much as I just
Yeah.
talked up Switzerland, it could be competitive.
Rory, you look, you have to fall asleep the next 3 hours though, if you want a good night's sleep.
I'm not saying I'm getting a good night's sleep. I'm saying I'm waking up early. Like I'll live on 6 hours or something.
Nap in the
I will set an
intermissions.
alarm. I will set an alarm to get up before that game, but I will sleep through it. I will get myself up for Canada, Czechia, and I think that's the best I can do.
Yeah.
And then sleep after that.
Canada Czechia. Well, I guess you're a Westie. I guess Canada Czechia is
Oh,
what 8:40
Westy.
for you?
Holy ethnic slur you just used. All right, so it's approaching an hour here. JC, I think you want to go eat. I also do want to eat. So let's get
What gives
some
you that
medal
impression?
predictions. Let's get some medal predictions in here. Rory, you go
I'll go
first.
first because I said it earlier. I did say it earlier. I'm also contradicting a point I made like 20 minutes ago. It's gonna be Canada gold, USA silver, Switzerland bronze. I need to go bold with one.
Okay.
So I'm saying Switzerland wins bronze.
Pretty lame still. Pretty lame.
Yeah, I don't know. I have the chalk final. It's the problem.
JC, what about you?
Here's where I'm at on the painting. I need to wait for it to dry. I would have done the edges, but my garbage bag is over on the table, and I didn't really want to plaster it over my desk, so I just stayed towards the middle so I wouldn't get paint on my desk, and I succeeded in doing so. I don't really like the way it turned out too much. I don't think it's the worst, but I think it was definitely good for while you guys yapped, giving me something to do, keep me occupied, so I'm not just falling asleep. Um, it's mirrored, but it's Horvat. Also, I guess people listening can't tell what it is. I painted the back of Horvat's Canada jersey with the 14 and everything. So it's something. It's not as cool as the Ratu one. The Ratu one is definitely the goat.
That's awesome.
This one's actually pretty cool. But it's something. I
You're so
we'll see
talented.
if I go over it again. I definitely think it needs another layer of red paint, but I can't really do much right now because it's wet. Anyway, I'm saying Germany bronze, Latvia silver, and Austria gold.
We just got Jester gooned.
Is that Marco Casper's music?
Wait, you could have said Rossi. I know he's injured, but
I should have said David Reinbacher.
okay. My actual prediction is USA gold because God hates me. And then I'm saying Canada bronze, and I'll give the silver medal to fuck it, Slovakia.
That would be actually. That would be so crazy.
I think we're gonna see some pretty insane upsets. I think we're going to have Canada gold. Stay with me now.
Yeah, a big upset there.
Germany silver. On the path to that, they beat USA, and then USA wins the bronze medal.
I say beat for the bronze medal.
Slovakia.
So where does Sweden Sweden and Finland fall?
In the quarterfinals. Or no, in the group stage.
Even
Wiped
in the
off,
group stage,
wiped,
there is no
wiped,
group stage.
Nobody
wiped
can
off the
fall in the group
face,
stage.
wiped off
It's
the face of
literally
the earth.
impossible.
Wiped
It's
off the
literally
face of the
impossible
earth.
to fall in the group stage. Not even
Like,
France is gonna fall in the group stage.
I meant
by the way.
I meant
the qualification.
You know what I meant.
No, don't give him help.
You know what I meant.
You gotta let him suffer.
I'm World Juniors brain.
I'm so mad at this stupid format. I'm not even.
It is really bad. Again, I read it and I don't understand it. You just saw it
Why
right
not
there.
just bring 4 more teams? Why not just bring 4 more teams? Bring like I guess would be easier if you had like Russia and Belarus, but you could have bring like let's say they're allowed. You Russia, Belarus,
Norway.
Austria, and Norway. Yeah, easy. Boom. You have four groups of 4. They're gonna be pretty spread out, like talent wise. Then you do quarterfinals, top 2 from each group advance, and easy. Like literally the easiest thing in the world. Or you could just do it the way that you would expect it to be done, which is top 2 in each group advance, and the 2 best third place teams get seeds
No.
7 and 8. That would be bad. That is also a bad format, but it's better than what they're currently doing.
Yeah. They can't seem to get it right. And also this weird thing with them claiming everyone posting footage of the games.
It's an Olympics thing. They've always done that.
It's terrible. I don't like it. Nobody can post any goals. I have to go and check myself.
Yeah.
Which that feels so crazy that like the Olympic Games have been happening for so long now, and these greedy broadcasters are just not letting us watch replays or post replays.
It's disgusting.
Yeah,
We're
greed.
victims.
The Olympics.
The Olympics. Rory, you
I
have to say
hate
it.
the Olympics.
The Olympics?
Okay, there you go. Okay, now we can end. Goodbye, everybody. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
JC, what did you say? What do you say? He's ignoring me. He's low-key face-mogging me and gesture gooning. Is that low-key a clavicular W?